everyone, and welcome to Rob's Rebellion, as this segment is going to be called here, as part of Rob's Rogues, YouTube reviewing network, maybe? Nah. This is something I had toyed with doing for a while, I've always been a big Star Wars fan, and I have enough Star Wars action figures and collectibles and different things that I could be reviewing and showing off until the cows come home, like they say. I have a ton of stuff. A lot is still in boxes, so I don't know if this is going to be a full-on review of some stuff. The Star Wars segment just may be a chance for me just to show you guys what I have. I have complete waves from The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, plus the Power of the Force line that came out when the re-releases started, plus my original figures from 77 all the way through, 86, 87, something like that, from New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Initially, this was going to be a separate YouTube channel because I kind of wanted to keep my Star Wars or my superhero slash Robin YouTube channel separate, and then a Star Wars segment. So if there are Star Wars fans out there that may be only interested in just watching Star Wars reviews, then, you know, they may not have to go, oh, I'm not into superheroes. But as I start thinking about it, that's two separate channels to try and maintain. And a lot of other reviewers do review different things. So this is going to be kind of like an addition segment. So instead of seeing, you know, Rob's Rogues number such and such, you know, 283, the header will read, obviously, Rob's Rebellion and then the number. I started doing the numbering system so it'd be easier for people to kind of find the videos, and for me to be able to reference it and say, hey, if you go back to Rob's Rogues 283, you could see, you know, Batman such and such review. So hopefully those people that are subscribing to my Rob's Rogues channel, which I've done some Marvel figures from time to time, which I still have an Incredible Hulk figure I have to review yet. And I thought a little extra content is pretty cool. Plus, this is another part of, you know, who I am. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And initially I told myself, I don't know if I'm going to buy that much from The Force Awakens. It's kind of one of those things that, you know, the more other brands of things I'm buying, I'm spending less money on, you know, my Robin collection that I'm trying to do. But Star Wars kid in me that's still 7 years old is saying, you need some of this stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into the first review for Rob's Rebellion. Today we're taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series, the First Order Stormtrooper. And I gotta tell you right off the bat, the Stormtroopers, being the clone troopers or speeder bikes, any of the troopers, have actually always been my favorite character in the Star Wars series. I mean, yes, I like Luke, Han, and Leia, and all the rest of the Star Wars characters, but there was just something very cool as a kid seeing the original Star Wars. When New Hope came out in 77, I was just instantly enthralled with the whole Star Wars series. Saw it as a double feature. Tron was the first movie that it showed. Now, I liked Tron, but I was trying to keep myself awake because I wanted to see the Star Wars movie and was blown away. But something that instantly caught my eye was the Stormtrooper. So, seeing what the new Stormtroopers were going to look like in this new movie, or if they were going to have any Stormtroopers, I was really excited for. So this had to be the very first figure that I picked up from the Black Series for The Force Awakens, and I wanted it to be the first thing that I review here on YouTube, and you're going to see lots of Stormtroopers and different things, and yes, you will see all the classics. I have some statues, I've got some 12-inch action figures, some figures that are still in boxes that I've never ever opened. I've got vehicles and some play sets. This is going to be kind of like a show and tell. Some of it will be a review, and some of it will be kind of like, I've never opened this, but I just kind of want to share my Star Wars collection with you. So hopefully you guys will like this segment. Let's get into it. We'll take a look at the box here for the Black Series, Force Awakens. I cannot wait for this movie. They've changed the look of the Black Series. I do have another one. We'll see this here. Here's one of the clone troopers. This is kind of like the standard box that the Black Series had done, but with the Force Awakens, they've changed the box here. And now we've got the number of the figure from the wave on the side here. Of course, it's written in both English and Spanish. And then there's a little bit of a write-up here, and I kind of like the look here of the character that's in the background here. It says, First Order Stormtrooper. Equipped with sleek armor and powerful weapons, the Stormtrooper enforces the will of the First Order. And then again, it's written in different languages here. A lot of product design, product information here, and something new for us Star Wars fans, seeing Disney on Star Wars items that... I gotta tell you, I was one of those ones that was skeptical when Disney bought Star Wars, when Lucas had sold it. And I was really kind of worried, like, what are they going to do to the series and the franchise? And seeing these trailers is just like going back home. And I'm somebody, I am a fan of the prequels. I know some people hate the prequels, they don't like them, and I'm probably just losing people left and right here. But I enjoyed it. It's just another part of Star Wars. Are they the greatest Star Wars films? No, they're not. But they're still enjoyable. I still like to watch them. So we're going to see stuff from all of the Star Wars films on this channel in this Rob's Rebellion segment as I do them. So that was kind of the introduction here for the channel, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Now let's get to the actual review of the Stormtrooper, the First Order Stormtrooper, and the first figure reviewed here on Rob's Rebellion. I'm getting ready to say Rob's Rogues. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, we've got the First Order Stormtrooper out of the package from Hasbro, and it's so weird to say Hasbro, because being a kid of the 80s, being able to say Kenner all the time. So Hasbro is doing these guys as they have been for a while now that they have the license. He looks really good in box and out of box. He does not disappoint. Attention to detail is really good on this guy. Some wonky parts in the articulation that were kind of throwing me for a loop here. I was kind of expecting some double joints. I don't see that in the elbows. So it's kind of like the weird swivel at the elbow and bend at the elbow. I thought the arms, my elbows were on wrong. I think I just had them twisted. Just trying to figure out where I want to say gauntlets, being a superhero guy, but the sides of the arm shields, where those are supposed to be. But I believe I have him correct. And it's difficult too, not actually seeing the movie yet. And a lot of these reviews, like I do with the superhero reviews and just being a huge fan of Star Wars in general, I'll probably have some things to say about these characters. But in The Force Awakens, we don't know much about them. And I'm not somebody that's going to go out for Revenge of the Sith. I kind of spoiled myself with some things because I was looking online and found out a lot of different story beats. With this movie, I really want to go into with a fresh look, and really have no preconceived notions about what I'm going to see other than a few trailers here or there. It wasn't until recently I figured out who Finn was, and somebody may be like, I don't know how you can call yourself a Star Wars fan. I didn't want to go out and search that. I really wanted to have that raw experience like I did back in 1977 as a 7-year-old, as much as I could with with technology and things nowadays, to just have a real, pure, and honest reaction to it, and not go, oh, this is when this scene happens, and this is this character, and this is his backstory. I'll figure that out during the movie, and I'm going to love each and every single frame of it. I cannot wait. So let's get on with the look at the First Order Stormtrooper. Very, very cool. I love the detail in this. Again, like I've said before, a Stormtrooper is one of my favorite things in Star Wars. I would call him a character. So it'll be interesting to figure out, are they clones still? Are they just now recruits? What's going on? I know we've seen some shots of Finn in a Stormtrooper outfit, so maybe he joins the Empire at some point and realizes what they're doing is wrong. We'll find out. But you can see some of the grid work. Let's see if I can get in here without the camera going too crazy. I like this design, according over the classic just a little bit. It's kind of like a modern take, and I'm glad the Stormtrooper, you can still tell it's a Stormtrooper, just a evolutionary step in the design of the Stormtrooper over years. Something that is very familiar. Even this, little black spot here on the top of the helmet is still very classic, very 1977 Stormtrooper-ish. And then just some modern liberties that they take, and some nice grid work down in here. You kind of see the right there. There it is. Finally shows up there. But very cool. One vent hole as opposed to two on the classic Stormtrooper right there. You would have a second one over here. Just really, really nice. And it's a very sleek design. Back it up here a little bit. Like the middle section here of a Stormtrooper still retains that classic Stormtrooper look, but gone is kind of like, it's more of the still the bulky part of the back of the costume for the Stormtrooper. The outfit, or the uniform as it were, is more sleek. So everything is, and it's almost kind of like the very first Star Wars images back in '77 of the concept art for the Stormtrooper. Kind of like in overall sleekness and design. After a while, they kind of changed the Stormtrooper for the production of A New Hope to what we now affectionately know as a Stormtrooper. But it's kind of got that original Stormtrooper look, at least kind of in the back here. Some nods to the old uniform as well, with this kind of like a back canister, which now is just a little bit larger and sticking out, but very, very cool. And a lot of that grid work is down into the knees as well. You can see that there. I'm marveling at this figure and telling myself, oh, I'm probably not going to do Star Wars figures this time around, and kind of seeing them get caught back up, and the 7-year-old in me says, Rob, go for it. Go for it. Very cool. So I don't have any of the other blasters to compare from the original series, from the Black series so far. So a lot of white in the Blaster 2, which I would guarantee is movie accurate from what we've seen so far in the trailers and the clips. It would have been kind of cool. We've got the extra little... they're now carrying two. It's more like a little mini blaster pistol as opposed to the blaster rifle here. That I'm assuming probably in the movie it's kind of like magnetic, that kind of sticks to the side. There's a little bit of a peg hole here that the gun has, so you can kind of put it in there. It would have been kind of cool. It looks like you can do it this way too. So there's one there. We kind of see it. So you could put that one here, and then have, I'm assuming this is a little blaster pistol. Could be a stun gun of some type. Again, we don't know. The movie is December, about 4 months away. Can you believe it? Till we see this movie. So traditionally they had like the black holster that came off of the belt that would go in. So 30 years since the last movie came out, Return of the Jedi, if you're going chronologically. So I would imagine technology has changed, as it has much for all of us. So this, I'm assuming it's a pistol of some type. I'm assuming could be a stun gun. Does not want to set in the hand really tight. You can kind of get the trigger finger in there, but it's kind of tilted off to the side. It's not fully straight on. If I were to put it in his hand more straight, the trigger finger kind of comes out, but he can hold it. It's not going to come flying out. All right, let's take a look at the articulation of this guy. The head doesn't go up very much at all. He can look down a little bit. He's got a rocker side to side, and of course the head goes all the way around, a full 360. The shoulder pads, you kind of have to get them tucked in underneath the chest plate here, but you can get him up almost a full 90 degrees. Not quite, but good enough here. It's kind of the weird, there's no bicep swivel here, so it's kind of got the hinge swivel at the elbow, and kind of thought that the arm was on backwards. He was kind of like this in package, so I had to kind of swivel it around, but single bend at the elbow. He has a hinge at the wrist, and then the wrist rotates. He has the upper diaphragm swivel, which is nice, and kind of arches back a little bit and goes side to side. I would have liked a waist swivel here. I think that's kind of disappointing a little bit. The legs don't go out far, hardly at all. Kind of gets in the way of the belt here. I lost the gun there. There is a rotation in the upper thigh area, which is kind of nice. A double jointed knee, which is actually really pretty cool. So we get a double jointed knee, but not a double jointed elbow. It would have been nice for posability. And then a hinge at the foot and a rocker at the foot. So very, very cool here. All right, like I said, I love the Stormtroopers. They're one of my favorite characters. So you can't just have one. So I managed to pick up a second one. So let's get this guy out of the package and see what they look like together. Of course, we know what they're going to look like together. I'd like to get at least three of them. Four would be pretty cool, so I have a little bit of an army. But let's get the second First Order Stormtrooper out of package. And there's the second First Order Stormtrooper out of the package. Really cool. Can't wait to kind of army build these. I would at least like to get one more of them, so I at least have three to go with Kylo Ren. But very, very cool. I'm so excited for this movie. I cannot wait. So today we've been taking a look at Hasbro Star Wars The Force Awakens First Order Stormtrooper. Thanks for checking out this segment of my channel, the Rob's Rebellion section, that's going to take a look at all of my Star Wars stuff, action figures, statues, just anything I have from Star Wars that I've collected ever since I was 7 years old. And there is a truckload. So yes, there'll be some Force Awakens stuff. I don't know how deep I'm going to go into this. It's all going to depend on the wallet. So, but at least, if nothing else, we can take a look at my old collection as we get closer and closer to the release of Star Wars The Force Awakens coming this December. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rebellion, signing off saying we will see you guys next time.